Update on the baby dragon I rescued. I built a little contraption for its wing, so now it's almost able to fly. But of course, doing that stuff makes you late sometimes. Taking care of a baby dragon you've rescued can't always be on time. Alright, this is the Tahm Kench design we've got, and it just needs a little bit of correction today, and then we'll get started on thumbnails. So I will take a sip of, and hello by the way, hope everybody's doing good. I will take a sip of water, I'll take a step back, and then I'll just look at it for a little bit and evaluate. Feel free to join. I think we've just about reached good enough territory. The one thing is the hat. Because it's now quite tall, because of the two belts that I wanted, it doesn't really read as a fedora anymore to me. And I think since Tahm Kench normally wears a top hat, I think my solve for that is just gonna be to make it so. Like this is also just a top hat with some belt buckles on it. We might lose a little bit of like mob boss vibes, but what we're gaining in exchange is just like a clearer idea of what it is. It's a clearer design, and as well it is more on brand, I think, for Tahm Kench. Cool. And with that, I think we have a design that I think is kind of fine, kind of okay. Kind of acceptable territory. This is good. This is what we want. Now I will, as it managed detail density, and I realize it's still pretty dense, but it's kind of at a point where we have some zones of detail and we have some relative zones of rest. This is relatively restful. Some of this is relatively restful. Even the arms and legs are relatively restful compared to, say, the mouth and tongue and necklace area. So that's kind of enough detailed rest for me to feel like I want to move on to illustration. Because that's I said manage detail density. That took us 5 minutes. How efficient. And then illustrate. That's going to be the brunt of the work today. Oh, you know what we should do? That's so hack. We should make one of these pages. We should rip this layout and just pretend like it's official concept. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. That's fun. So first I'll just recreate the background here. Which for that, it's easier to see it if I just hide my concept for now. Wait, what happened? Did I accidentally scale it up? Huh. I must have. That, or they're not perfect squares, which I guess that's a possibility too. A possibility. Oh, I see. My mistake. Because I'm piecing it together, some of the squares that I've made are not the same size. They're almost the same. There you go. And then we find some of the other ones. This is dark magics. This is don't do this at home. kind of like a how to steal art sort of vibe. But we're just taking the layout because it's funny. It's like how every fan League of Legends skin that you'll see has this. It has the League of Legends background. Like it's just part of the genre. We're not breaking any laws or stealing anybody's art. Really. And now we take my imperfect squares here and just duplicate them across. That's crazy. What? They're not the same height on one side as they are on the other? That's dumb. I wonder how I did that. Doesn't matter. All right. No, wait, no. I didn't link them up right. I feel like I always stream with like very open eyes because I'm just like focus mode. Grab all these bits. And then the set one has a different bit exposed. What happened? Did you? Oh, my canvas was slightly rotated. That might have made caused some of the problems that we ran into. Sick. Now we use these bits here. Not that slider. Not that slider. There we go. There's the color match. Sick. Oh. What did I call the stream? What's my stream title? My stream title is Still Good. Still works. No complaints. Now we use this one. The big problem is going to be the name. Like I'm going to have to figure out where they source their typography from. Sick. Okay. This really is as bright as it gets in my room. I was feeling the eye strain. I was like, can I do anything about that? I think it's just the way. I think it's just how it is. Man, what a classic meme. What a good drawing as well. Ugandan Knuckles just tapped into something in the collective unconscious. Spoke to something deep in our souls. You have some of that. We'll steal that then. Is it gonna be worth it? No. Is it gonna be funny? Hell yeah. To have the official layouting, the official formatting to my Tahm Kench fan skin. Oh, come on. Oh, right, it's because Clip doesn't do that. So one thing that Photoshop does have on Clip is in Photoshop you can just hold down Shift and you'll draw straight lines. Clip doesn't have that. You have to use like the line tool. Which that's a bit of a nerf, if you ask me. Bit of an L that Clip has taken there. So close. Will be just a second. I feel like I'm wasting so much time on stream doing like menial tasks like layouting and shit. But hey, it's my space. I can do what I want. If I need the chill time, so be it. Cool. It's not gonna be like fully clean. But that's pretty close to what they're displaying their characters on. And then look, we already did this thing. That's how I got the idea, is this guy over here. Just scale that to fit. How many letters can I source? Maybe they have all the ones I need. Yeah, they hella do. Nyla, set. Oh no, they're not the same. Okay. Well, then we use what I already have. And then the Samira, and then I should have all the letters I need. Grab, say, A and M from you. Don't need Draven right now. Don't need Lux. Set. I'm gonna need a T. I'll grab the E as well, just in case. I'm not gonna write out Tahm Kench. AM. I need the H. Lua. Drawn. Stupid. Dumb, stupid. Okay. Grab a T. Grab an AH. There it is. My M. Crazy. Crazy. Get rid of the EN. Whoops. We have all the information we need. this is silly. I kind of wanted to... Nah, this is fine. We'll do this. We'll do this. Trav. And then what? Find one of the ones that have like the eyes on the side. Yeah. There we go. Because why lay out when you can steal the brilliant work that the Riot artists have already done? Okay, well, for now, you could go there, you could go there. Problem solved. Nope. There you go. Are you almost the same size now? Not quite. We just do one of these. And I know they're not proper orthos. I'm aware. They're not a neutral enough. They're not A pose for one. There's a little bit of pretend perspective going on. Wait, are you not the same size? Guess I have to lift the tongue a bit, huh? But then also because they're not proper orthos, I'm fine with them not linking up perfectly, you know. It's all good. He's quite a wide boy. I've also drawn him in like a wide stance. You could actually kind of use a little bit of a horizontal squeeze. And then I'll just pack him tightly and pull in the tongue. And then we're kind of all good. They all have a close-up and a prop highlight. So I think what we'll do is, because he is so okay. Give me a sec. I just need to get it all together. He kind of is a close-up in and of himself because he's got such a big head anyway. So let's just, like, if I were to actually do call-outs for this guy, what might I call out? I might call out the tongue and the teeth, probably. You could call out the face too, but it's like, it just doesn't feel necessary. It's right there. So if it were me, which it is, it is me. Maybe we can combine them. Maybe we can just like grab all this shit. Or maybe I don't need or want to combine them. But say you did, you could do this. I don't like the overlap. And then I would kind of like move the tongue down so it gets to occupy like the shape of space that we actually have to work with. Yeah, but I would probably just like get rid of this and see if I couldn't keep it to the grills and the tongue. Maybe it makes sense to do the entire mouth. I think that's what I would call out for this concept. The actual reason we were late today, if you're curious, is I'm trying out the multi-streaming thing for the first time. So right now, I am streaming to YouTube as well as Twitch. Which reminds me, I should put the music in the description of the YouTube video so I don't get like copyright stricken. Because I can, like, this I have permission to use this music as long as that's a little loud. I'm sorry. I apologize. I have permission to use this music as long as I credit them. And that goes for anywhere I stream. Live stream in the description. Put a little sick. Cool. Looks good. All looks good to me. Now I should be crediting where credit is due on the YouTubes as well as the Twitch. Let's see, what are we looking at? Who's in? I have a continuation to the whole scheduling debacle. But I'll maybe wait till more of like the hey yo, Themios is in. What's up? What's up? I'm good. How are you? Not gonna sit for very long. Drop by to say hi. Yeah, sure. I am feeling the consequences of my actions. With the whole scheduling debacle yesterday, the whole scheduling dilemma, I think that I'll have to pedal it back. I think I might have to invoke take backsies. This is just so I might do the morning streams anyway. Of course, there's nothing stopping me from doing that. It's just a little bit funny because I think I like the structure of having the stream to wake up to. And I only realized as soon as I stopped. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know the sun when it starts to show snow. Only know the sun when it starts to snow. And you let her go. So I think, we'll see. I haven't officially changed my schedule in spots where I upload the schedule. I already think the decision backfired. Yes. I think I'm already feeling less structured because I have less structure in my day to structure around. And I know I'm dropping buzzwords left and right. But structure specifically is a big important buzzword to me. It's something that I find I really thrive with and thrive antonyms without. Yes, so I think I'll pivot back. Invoke take backsies. It's literally one of those things where I was like, well, I think this might help me if I do it this way, and then I realized, no, probably doesn't help me to do that thing. Cool. So this would be how I would lay this out, and then to completely steal their outfit, completely steal their swag. I feel like I need to steal the little bubbles with the numbers as well. One. Don't pick up the phone. You know he's only calling because he's drunk and alone. One, and then grab the two. It's only a 2-finger plan, unfortunately. It's not a 3-finger plan. What, did I not? Please and thank you. Yes. Okay. Sick. It seems to help. It seems to be really good engagement bait if you can make it seem like whatever you did is actual official work. Because then people go like, either they go like, yes, I'm so excited, or they go like, no, please don't do that to my favorite Tahm Kench. No, don't dress him up in like anime clothes. And then you pop off, right? There's a solid expression for that, right? What's it? No press is bad press. This is not the way it goes. There's one like that with news. All press is good press. All publicity is good publicity. That's what I'm trying to say. Cool. I don't want to bother to to refine this right now, but it's in here now. Like, this will be the layout. And why did I want this? I wanted it so I could have reference to the side when I do the thumbnails. Oh wait, hold the phone. Maybe that's fine. That's how we get the brush settings window though, isn't it? And now it never goes away. Yes, yes, okay. So let's not do. Yeah, and it like legit never goes away. That's such a weird bug. Okay. So hide that. There we go. Well, if you're still here, thanks for checking in. Even though you had other stuff to do, that's very kind. It's very very Sigma of you to do. Cool. He could be a bit bigger, no? It's cause he's kind of like tangenting with himself. That's the problem. There we go. Croppity, abolish private property. Do it again. Croppity, abolish private property. Nice. Clean. Put that in. That was the right folder. No need to exit it. Put that in here. Oh no, I'm running out of disk space. That's quite bad. I guess I could. This is 3. What we'll do is we'll open up the other ones to. This is 2. Well, that's nothing new. What does 1 look like? That. I just want to export this one, and then I can delete the file. This is my thumbnail for the YouTube stream. All right. That's the concept. I have it in my reference doc right about now. And look, look, look. Okay, wait, actually, this is good. This is good to know. Because I was like, let's see if we blend in, right? Let's see if we blend in. And we sorta do, we sorta blend in. I think the big thing is we could actually use maybe a bit more saturation in selected spots. Like just a bit more contrast in selected locations. So what I want to punch would be the gems in the teeth. And I would like to punch this band here. And just making them more blue seems like a decent way to punch them. And then this band, I think it's just kind of a matter of saturating it a little bit. What else? What else? What else? Put in a little moment here. A little bit of like a satin sort of look to the waistcoat. Something like that. And this is kind of like encroaching on refining the concept, because now I'm putting in like material definition, which I actually kind of promised myself not to do yet. But there it is. Anyway, moving on. Moving, he said, not just not remotely doing that. Okay, I swear, moving on. Oh, I gotta go in the, now I gotta go and ban a bot. It's banning bots time. What's the command? /audit? No. What commands do I have? Monitor. Monitor was the one I was thinking of. Wait, no. That's not what I was looking for. What is unmonitor? What's the command? There's a command where you can see like a chatter's history. That's the one I'm looking for. Just user/user? That might be it. Nah. Wait, yes, it is. It is just /user, because then you can see how many messages they have on your stream. That's cool. Okay, /user. New technology. So now we want to do thumbnails. Halfway into the stream and we did the layout for the character. Good job. Okay, I'll just lower my table. Mic adjust. There we go. New document. 3840 by 2160. 4K UHD. And well, now the research becomes, what do Tahm Kench splashes look like? And what's his kit like? Like, what does he do? Because I want to do a composition that involves whatever he does. Okay. He does a tongue lash where he like throws out this, he like slings his tongue at you. He does abyssal dive where he dives into the ground. And then he has a shield. Finally, he eats ya. And then he turns red when he eats ya. Or blue, depending on if it's a friend or foe. So it's pretty clear. It needs to either be he needs to either be lashing out his tongue or he needs to be like eating. That's the two things that he could be doing, right? I guess couple that with what do Soul Fighter splashes look like? And it is just kind of like dynamic, cool, using my attack stuff. Draven spinning a knife, Yasuo slashing the screen, Evelyn's charging towards it, Pike is charging towards it. It's a lot of charging towards the screen. So I think that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna be charging towards the screen. All right. Damn, are these really? Oh, okay, he's got more. So I'm looking at his splashes, right? Tahm Kench is stupid. Just dumb. I really love Arcana Tahm Kench. Arcana Tahm Kench goes pretty hard. And it's funny because it's just like a symmetrical image. In that sense, it's almost like a little, it's very straightforward, right? But it just, obviously it works because that's the kind of concept that works with symmetry, right? Super long tongue in all of these. This one's sick. Honestly, that could have been like this pose and gesture very easily could work for the skin that we're doing as well. Very easily. And then that's it. That's all we got. Okay. Well, then that's just kind of it, huh? This one, it's like acting based on the skin. I don't think we can really super do that, right? Because, well, let's look at it again. It's just kind of like a drippy version of the same character. It could be like, oh, that's a wasted opportunity. I should have made him like canonically like the head of a casino. I hella should have done that, huh? That's so much more of an idea than what we have right now. Oh man. And I don't know, like that's... It's probably stuff like... Come on, what's going on? Okay, there we go. His buckles would be like the number 7, or he'd have some like slot machine accessory. Maybe we can still do it? Is it too late? Maybe we have time. Cause that feels kind of fun to me. Gotta be honest. If we wanted to go down that path more, well, you could change his color scheme. His colors could be black, red, green instead of black, red, purple. It's kind of, I mean, it's late, right? Because it feels like you could make him a casino boss, but at this point, or just in general, for that to really properly work, you know, we should commit to the bit, right? We should make it. We should make it like, oh, he's a casino owner. I see what you're saying, right? Should be doing shit like that. Because he used to be a gambler, it's kind of too good to pass up, actually. It's a little too good to pass up. I don't think the tooth motif is like bad. I don't think we can't keep that. All right, let's although, wait. That could never go in Riot, right? Because you can't do gambling references, can you? I'm not sure Riot would do that. But then again, I'm not Riot. Why should I care? For my little fan art project. If it's like a good idea. Just kind of put it in there regardless, right? Okay. The one thing I'm considering right now, and this is just like a, I don't know that I'm like a, what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to figure out, should I make this last bit of the hat be also casino related? If I'm, say, leaning into a casino owner idea, how on the nose do I want that to be? How instantly do I want you to read that? Yeah, I'll have a little think on that. I think the point is, I want you to, if you spend any time with the design, I want you to get that. But he's Soul Fighter first. I think he's supposed to be Soul Fighter first. Which means dripped out, stylish, big shapes, streetwear-like. I don't like that. Because the point is, you could say, make this just like another face of a die. Let's just look at it. Concept's clearer for sure. We lose a bit of the motif of the teeth. But we still have it. It's just like a more secondary motif, which is like fine. I don't see any problem. I don't have any problem with that. Cool, so now we have the last two iterations, man. It'll never end. Which it's this, which I liked. I was happy here until I saw that we could have this. The new hat isn't as cool to me. Other than that, I like what I'm seeing. There's interest to the necklace now. Like there's a reason to look there. Now we kind of have this thing where the face is framed by detail, and then the face itself, well, the face itself is more restful. I like that. Maybe it's just like, it's gotta be a more tasteful way to do the dice here. It's very on the nose. It's very on the nose. But then you know. Yeah. It is very on the nose. Maybe all of it was kind of fine except for the dice on the hat. Because the dice on the hat makes it like, okay, bro, I get what you're saying. Cool. But here, it's kind of... it's subtle enough that... well, my thinking is, you might not necessarily super duper see the sevens until, because they're gonna have like, they're gonna be belt buckles, so they're gonna have like a little bit of like a foot to them down here as well. You might not super duper see the sevens until you see this piece here on his chest. And when you see that piece, which is just the slot machine, then you'll go, oh, and you'll see the dice, and you'll see the sevens, and you'll see this ring, and it'll all come together. That's the idea. And then in comparison, and this might still be too on the nose, but in comparison, this felt like, sure, man, I see what you're saying. Yeah. It's not hard. Okay, he's a casino owner. Anyway. Cool. So now I'm kind of satisfied. Now I'm happy with the design. Cool. Man, I'm really putting off this illustration. It's not that hard, Jacob. He's charging towards the screen with his tongue out. Eating something. Or lashing with his tongue, one of the two. His proportions are so weird, man. I'll just see if I can find one more reference for that. Or, you know, just go to the model viewer again and have that up. I think the best thing we can do is do his spin attack tongue lash. That feels like the most Tahm Kench thing that hasn't been properly utilized in his splashes yet. Because this is like tongue out eating something. This is just mysterious guy. This is eating something. This is like devour, right? This is also tongue out being cool, but none of them are really doing that dynamic spin attack tongue lash. And I think if we could do that, that would feel very uniquely Tahm Kench. and dynamic, so Soul Fighter as well. Such a weird little guy, the way he moves, his proportions. Cool. So bearing that in mind, I don't even, man, it's gonna be something like, well, I guess I'll find the animation. That's his Q. So spell 1. There you go. Oh, that's nice. Okay. They do have frame stepping on the model viewer that I'm using. That's really nice. So, more reference gathering. Here he is, tongue out straight. Which is kind of still not what I'm counting on doing. What I'm counting on doing would be yeah. It's this idea. And then we punch that up. And then we just kind of win. I think it's nice to have him like flying through the air as well. Yeah, man, these model viewers are really such a good reference to have. Cool, there we go. Just arranging these out so I can put them in my pure ref. And now you're thinking, he can't possibly procrastinate anymore. We'll see about that. I can still re-export this one and put the new one into my ref document. Of course, I gotta admit, I'm running out. There's kinda just drawing left. So, the entire point is I want mouth, and I like how in one of the images I found, like the lower jaw was sort of lagging behind. Or one of the poses in his in-game animation has the lower jaw sort of lagging behind the upper jaw. I'm gonna have a moment here with a hand coming towards the viewer. Man, the big challenge here is gonna make this little derpy looking guy. Yeah, the big challenge is gonna be making him look like dynamic and cool. Cause he's kinda just like a big ball. That's a sucky feeling. It feels like I'm out of practice. Drawing. Been doing a lot of just like image composing and image correction for internship job recently. So just like, and then we did designing. We've been doing designing for stream, right? Straight up like drawing and gestures and stuff. It's kind of been a little while. kind of believe in the hand still. I just think I messed up the rest of the drawing. But I'm also kind of not sure how to fix it. It's better. It's better. Warming up. Okay. I have found a new art goat recently. It is this guy, Leo Chiola. And he does very dynamic like Venom drawings, among other things. Which is a little different because like Venom is like a... Even like the caricatured Venom has like more appealing proportions for dynamism, or better proportions for dynamism, if you ask me. But maybe there's some inspiration to be found in, say, or rather, I think there is, in, say, a drawing like this. I think there is. In that vein, you also have someone like Kim Jacinto. This is another guy. But you can see how they're like kind of cousins. Or maybe they were roommates. Yeah, if I can try to think like that. And so what makes these guys work to me is, well, they have big, appealing shape. But they also know to use negative space well. Like really using their negative space. Yeah. So that could be stuff like taking this arm and just fully rotating it out of there. Like if I believe in this arm, then maybe I can find a way to do it. Where it's clear in silhouette. And is that not better I am inclined to say yes. Exaggerate the perspective here. This drawing to me is starting to have some interesting rhythms. I'll just look at my design real quick and go, I do have some shapes that I should be blocking into the gestures as well. I have big shoulder pads and I have this big jacket here. And that messes more than I would like with the hand that I had blocked out. The nice thing about Splash is, for my money, very often, and certainly for the one that I'm trying to do here, which is like a simpler thumbnail for a splash, you can kind of get away with drawing the pose and then just filling in the rest later. Like around the character. I think this mouth could be more open. So, again, I took Ian Su's course where I bought it and I watched the first 4 lessons. At one point he goes, well, most characters can be broken down into 3 categories. Once you want to kill, once you want to be, or once you want to romance. And for Tahm Kench, I'm thinking, which one of these is he really? Because, I mean, I can definitely see this. He's not, he's not a very unlikable villain. He's not like Thanos, you just want to kill. Thanos, you just want to get him out of there. But Tahm Kench is kind of, to me, he's kind of cool. He's kind of like, yeah, man, I'm that guy. I'm gonna eat them all. I'm gonna fucking eat all the other guys. That came from that bit of analysis. Wanting to do that came from, I want to sell what he's about, and what he's about is like, and it's kind of tied to that because the power fantasy is eating all the guys. So what we want to highlight is the mouth and the eating and the teeth, right? That's the big selling point of the piece. But of course, he's not like a character that you want to literally be. He might be a character that you want to feel like. He's not one you want to literally be. Man, there sure are a lot of shapes in this design now. Actually, probably. I probably can't do the big jacket, right? I mean, that's too late now. We're gonna do it. But from like a gameplay design perspective, he kind of has to keep his silhouette. And this jacket definitely messes with his silhouette. Silhouette? Silhouette. It's funny, I didn't realize that talking so much would make me worse at talking. It's like by repeatedly saying the same words, I forget their pronunciation. Probably stuff like the very, very big, very tall hat is too much as well. Again, from the perspective of wanting to keep the same silhouette. Okay, there's one thumbnail. That's something. I think we could do... Well, I just think we could do another one with the same idea. Could definitely do one where the tongue is like the foreshortened element. But I still want it to be while he's rotating. So this is like, it's like as the tongue is getting ready to whip forward. That is kind of what I want. Goofy as hell. Because I'm like, well, now the tongue is taking up all this real estate. So I can't very well put his body down here. Because then I'm like hiding the entire design. So it would have to be kind of like above him. So what am I thinking here? I'm thinking I want him to taper backwards into space. But I'm having trouble doing that appealingly when his proportions and his form is so dopey, he's so bottom heavy. Yeah, that I'm really having trouble making him recede appealingly. It's kind of like this thing I had with when I was doing the Malzahar splash. I had a perspective like this, right? So I had a close left vanishing point and then a far right. Which just means that the screen direction right side of this box is facing us more directly, right? And the screen direction left side, this side, is tapering faster. It's converging faster. So I had this perspective set up. Let me just might be a teachable moment. I'll just find the images really quickly. How little space? I have 8 gigabytes left on my drive. And my cloud is completely full. I have 1 terabyte of cloud space, so I have a lot of red X's in my file manager right now. Illustration. Let's find. Oh, wait. Give me a sec. I should be able to find what I want to show you. No, I skipped it. Anyway, originally I had this pose, and then if you know the splash, you'll know, if you know my work, you'll know that I ended up instead going with this pose. And this is through a lot of help from Mr. Thomas Chamberlain Key, sir. Thomas Chamberlain Keen, sir. He helped me find this pose. And what I want to... Here we go. Here it is. What I want to show you is I had this last pose in between. This is going to be quite a long-winded, well, it's going to be like 10 minutes of demo for one single point. I think it's worth it though. I do think it's worth it. And I think it might be applicable to the piece that we're working on. My point here is that I started with, let's just draw hips. Let's just draw hips and shoulders. Maybe over a white background. So I started with sort of this relationship between the hips and the shoulders. Then I went here, and there's an interesting lesson to be learned here that I'll show you in a second. And then TCK, who was supervising me on the project, he helped me find this pose instead. Which actually, I'm drawing it wrong right now. And I still see problems with my execution of this. Alright, but here it is. Here is the point. I started with this pose, which is not the absolute worst pose in the world, and it's not the absolute worst relationship between here I go again, ribcage and hips in the world. But it's a little uninteresting. They both have like the same, they're facing the same direction left to right, although there's a change in their incline, in their angle, right? Then I was feeling really smart when I did this instead, where this box is maybe a little bit twisted in relation to this box, but more importantly, it is tilted side to side, right? So one is tilted back and forth. Two is tilted back and forth plus side to side. And I'm like, on paper, that's just a better pose, right? On paper, that's just the better pose. But then, here's the genius. Here is the big takeaway. Thomas told me that he felt that this was worse. He felt that was a bad change. And his reasoning, at least what I understood it to be, is that I want this torso to have this feeling to it, like this is the gesture I want. But my perspective is naturally bringing those angles together, right? Because they're converging towards a vanishing point to the left. So my pose has lines converging to the right. My perspective has lines converging to the left. And the result is kind of this mess where it's just like, look at these lines, and they're a little bit loosely sketched, but look at these lines and their relative angles. Sure, in space, the gesture works, but these graphic shapes, this is not an appealing like that gesture. This does not read like that, right? So the fix was to try and exaggerate gesture 1. So 3 is back into back and forth. That way, back and forth is like plus 11. And then maybe I was also trying to get like a subtle twist in there, but I don't think I properly executed that. Anyway, the point is now the pose feels dynamic because he's really backbending. And not only does the pose feel dynamic in space, but it is correctly and effectively communicating my, and let me just adapt this quickly. It is correctly and effectively one more time. It is correctly and effectively communicating my perspective. So that's a really long-winded way of saying the problem I'm encountering right now with these Tahm Kench drawings is that I want a pose where the perspective, I want to emphasize the perspective, and I have another element in my drawing. In this case, it is his body shape and not the pose, but his body shape is kind of working against the perspective, right? So if he's tapering downwards, his face is here, and I want him to be in perspective, tapering towards a vanishing point. I won't get this, I'll get this, and that looks hella static, right? This shape tilted towards us gives us this form. So the shape of my character is directly working against the perspective that I want and the feeling of perspective that I want. So, what do I do about that? Well, one thing I quickly want to point out to myself is that this splash actually does quite well what I want to do. You have a very open mouth. You have the tongue swinging out. And then I get the feeling of depth and perspective just from these shapes and this leg being so small. I get the feeling of depth and perspective despite his body being so unsuited for like a taping into space. And what I'm noticing is they don't really get that done in large part by like a tapering of shape. Well, they do, but that's because of the cut of the canvas. But if you drew through this, he wouldn't be tapering very much in perspective. He's just kind of like a big blob, right? But then instead they're emphasizing this artist whom I don't know who it is. They're just really emphasizing overlaps, right? So it's the mouth, the lip, over the teeth, over the tongue, over the teeth, over the chin, over the belly. Well, over the arm first, then over the belly, then over this leg, right? It's a series of well-emphasized overlaps that creates the depth. It's just a really appealing drawing. Yeah, that's a good drawing. Anyway, so One way of achieving it, that depth that I want, that feeling of perspective, is with like a bunch of overlaps. I gotta admit, it doesn't feel as good to me as the tapering shapes. Like, it's a good solve that they did with what they had. My other proposal would be to kind of do the same solve as the Malzahar piece, where I decided to just let the perspective and the pose work together. Well, in this case, we can let the perspective and the character proportions work together by looking up at him, right? It's quite a simple solution. But the problem is, that's just kind of not the shot I want, right? So I'm kind of back to being screwed. Because I want him to be attacking you. I want him to come out of like a twist. And I really like showing that twist by offsetting the upper jaw and the lower jaw. So the lower jaw is still kind of like lagging behind. I think that works quite well. It's just hard. I'm having a hard time getting it to look like he's attacking you, like he's attacking downwards. Does he like jump? Does he actually jump when he does that attack? Yeah, he has to because he goes spinning like crazy. It's a little jump though. Okay. Put a pin in that one. Big open mouth. Jaw lagging behind. He's cooked, I'm afraid. I'm afraid he's cooked. He can't draw today, I'm afraid. I want to see both eyes. That makes it quite hard to be looking up at him. One last attempt here. One last attempt. Or one more. Which I think this is kind of a no-no for a splash. I'm drawing it anyway. If we look at him more from like a profile view, then what, Jacob? What if we look at him more from a profile view? Well, then we can look more up at him, is the point, and still see NI. This is NI. And then you can also, like, you can more easily convince me that he's attacking downwards. Because that would be what the tilt in the head is for. Like this tongue would swing down and towards us. Man, I desperately want him to be coming in from the jump, from the launch. Because it's so Soul Fighter, the jumping towards the screen, jumping towards you. Is like the most Soul Fighter shit. Yow. That might be an old message. It was right under my back to work timer. Just now. Sick. What's up, gangster? Struggling with the pose, but your XP pen is dramatic. It happens. It happens. Is it okay? It's already mad dusty. Well, that's just your fault, no? That's just, yeah. Attachment issues for real. Yeah. That's an XP pen with some fear of abandonment. Yeah, the shapes are better now. I didn't really do the thing that I said I'd do. I just kind of lived with... What a fucking banger I'm listening to. Okay. Sick. I don't know what it is. I just put on a playlist that I should be able to play from like a royalties perspective because it's credited. I have credited the artists. This is Growing Season by Gaz Lab and Guillaume Michel. Shout out. Hashtag SO. Holy shit, he did the thing. That's not a hashtag, that's an exclamation mark. Exclamation mark SO. Frenchman. Never mind then. You're a stupid idiot. Cher. I like the shapes better now. I like the pose better now. Now I have the problem that I don't think the face is properly showed off. Which I think it's kind of fine, but the point is these skin illustrations are typically splashes, and for splash art you want to show the character's face. This is a little bit of like a no-no. You want them generally to be front-facing, the characters. What's the other face we have? The other face we have is this. Made it a little bit unclear when I filled in the mouth, I have to admit. Sometimes art is this easy. We'll see if today is one of those times. Maybe a little bit, honestly. So this is technically like a more allowed. This is more legal for Splash. In the sense that now I have like a front-facing character. I'm selling the face. And I'm selling dynamism. I'm still not like super happy with it. How many toes? Four toes. Good that I checked. I've been drawing 3. You never know. You never know. So that, and this is kind of just the same drawing as the first one I did. Let's see the. Wait, give me a sec, and then we'll find the comparison. It's kind of just the same drawing. Yeah, man. He's fully cooked. He's fully cooked. But what this one has going for it is it looks a little bit more like Tahm Kench, because this guy is like a weird little frog dude, and this guy actually has like a belly, like Tahm Kench does, right? Yeah. What a day. What a day. I do like, okay, let's let's cope. Let's cope for 5 minutes. This will be Tahm Kench poses 1. That'll be this file. So coping for 5 minutes. I kind of like where we ended with the design. And it's funny that we put it on the right background. There's an idea to the design now, which we didn't really have yesterday. Yeah. Yesterday we were, you're not centered on me. It's better. Yesterday we had something like that, which is still cool. But now we have the gambling idea tied into the design in a way that I like. Because he used to be a gambler in his past life, I have been informed. So that's the cope. The cope is the design feels more fun to me today. And then what we're coping with is this. I'm gonna have to do some more drawing poses for him. Anyway, I decided to invoke take backsies on my scheduling change already. I will try to stick to the morning streams because I think I just thrive with the structure. So I'll keep that, which means I will end streams, evening streams, at 11 anyway. So I will hop offline and I will go to bed and get some sleep. And then, I mean, we might have some streams happening over the weekend. Probably more likely Sunday than tomorrow. And I'll see you guys regardless. Monday morning, Monday evening. Take care.